Alright everyone, it's time for another little video here about the Andy No story. Of course, remember, a couple weeks ago he got beaten half to death by Antifa in Portland while reporting on them, and some people are claiming, and there's a link in the description and I'll pin a comment down below, there's actually a poll on Twitter about whether Andy No should have gone himself or sent somebody else. I'm not telling you how to vote, of course, I'm just putting it in there so clankers can participate. In my opinion, he should have gone himself and he did the right thing, and here's why. Number one, let's look at optics and potentially legal repercussions. Let's say I'm Andy No. I realize Antifa knows who I am. They beat random Asian people at this point to the point where if you're in Portland and you're of half Asian descent, I guess you've got a curfew. You're not permitted to go outside because the leftists might attack you. This is considered palatable, by the way, by the government there. And the police, who do absolutely nothing while these people are rampaging through the city night after night. They're not even fucking bothering to arrest half these fuckers. Let's say I'm Andy No. I send somebody else out because I realize I'm, a potential target. They know who I am. So I send somebody else out dressed as an Antifa member to go and report on their various crimes. Let's say that person gets killed by Antifa. Let's say they get hurt in the crossfire by the cops. Tear gas canister lodges in their mouth. By the way, there's a GIF somewhere of that. They get shot full of rubber bullets and arrested. People think they're actually Antifa. Who's responsible for that? Oh, it's Andy No. See, here's the problem. Andy No, I think number one, he wants to do this himself. And he should be perfectly capable of doing that. He's in a public place. He has the right to be there. Yes, he knows it's dangerous. Some of the people that are calling Andy No out, they've been in similar situations. And I don't understand how a person who has been in a similar situation can criticize him. Unless they've like throttled back on doing the journalism thing and they prefer to do more analysis and stuff. But Andy No, he likes to be on the ground. And it's his choice. He's entitled to walk on the sidewalk. Yes, that includes if a bunch of Antifa members are there throwing bricks. May he get hurt? Yeah, he probably will. But it's still his right. There's no academic argument to be made about it. That's number one. Number two, the legal repercussions potentially. Let's say I'm Andy No, and I have some teenager or something like, they don't know who you are. Here's an Antifa getup and an NDA. Go out there and get me some footage, and they get, again, maimed or killed or something. Potentially, I have to go to fucking court because of this situation. And there are people that I don't know exactly why they're not even taking this into consideration. It doesn't make any sense. Again, maybe he wants to be the one who's there. Maybe he enjoys it. He's like, well, these Antifa members, they're constantly threatening to kill me. They're saying that I deserve to die. They're calling me a Nazi. They're trying to get me deplatformed. These are terrible people that are causing literally tens of billions in damage to my country. I want to fuck them in the ass. I don't want somebody else to do it. I want the credit myself. Maybe there's a little ego in there, but who cares? It's a sidewalk. He's allowed to walk there. But Antifa's not allowed to throw bricks and punches. Just because the police won't step in, some other people were like, well, he should have had guards there. I don't think that would work. Like, you've got 50, 100 Antifa members. You think that your 2 or 3 brawny dudes are going to really help you? No, it's at the end of the day, no, not really. That's not the way that the real world works. What, he should have to, so in other words, he should have to either stay in his home after 8 o'clock or so, because as soon as the sun goes down, Antifa, they blend in because they wear all black. So he's got a curfew. He's a little piss baby. He's got a curfew. He's not allowed to go out of his home too late. So he can stay inside and be a cuck, or he can shell out a bunch of money, or he can risk legal repercussions. Now, I think he chose option 4, which is, fuck it. I'm going to do the things that I want to do, number one, and I'm a journalist. This is my job. This is the whole point. The problem is, we've gotten to the point where a lot of people, they'll blame journalists for doing what journalists have always done because the legacy media no longer does. They no longer want to go to the war zone. They don't want to go and report on Antifa. If they do, they practically take a knee. We saw this with CNN's footage in front of the burning Wendy's there in Ferguson, or one of the 10,000 other cities that was burned and looted by Antifa thugs and by BLM morons. Oh, it's a fiery but mostly peaceful protest, said the CNN crew right before being physically assaulted. Oh, they took a knee for the protesters when they attacked CNN's HQ down in Atlanta. Yeah, you're really getting hard-hitting journalism from CNN and MSNBC, even like Fox and shit. What is it? It's just analysis. They're not going to Chaz. Yeah, Fox News is going to send reporters into Portland. Yeah, they're brave enough to do that. They've got enough goddamn health insurance to cover that cost. Andy No's willing to do it, though. He's no coward. You can say he's dumb for going in there, but you can't call him afraid. He's doing his job. I don't understand how anyone can fucking criticize him for it. What else? How would we be even analyzing the various problems that come attendant with the far-left terroristic violence that's going on if not for a handful of people like Andy Ngo that are actually there documenting it? Like, I do hard-hitting coverage, but I'm an analyst. Most of my finesse is predictions and analysis and things like that. And propaganda, not going into the Antifa zone. I'm not going to go and cover Chaz. Much as I would like to put a straw hat on and have like a shovel and a rake and shit and go and say, oh, look at these vegetables while I'm sitting there trying to stifle my laughter, I'm not going to spend the money to travel there. And I don't want to smell the human shit and stuff. By now, Andy, he no longer even needs ammonia under his nose to deal with the smell of piss and shit. Whenever Antifa, 2 or more, are gathered, they're practically throwing all their excrement at the cops. It's like these people never invented indoor plumbing. He's doing his job. So again, there is a link in the description to that poll there, and it's like some of these people, like Lauren Southern was calling it out, and I respect Lauren Southern. I have no problem with her. And by the way, I don't do e-drama. I'm not starting a grudge match with her, with Tim Pool. Some people were like, oh, Tim Pool, this... I like the dude. I watch his videos most days. But I disagree with them. I simply don't believe that their summation of the situation is adequate. I think that it's wrong to in any way criticize Andy Ngo. Yes, including if he goes solo into the Antifa zone. He has the right, as an American citizen, to walk down the sidewalk and be reasonably protected by the goddamn police. They're not doing their job. It's their fault and Antifa's, not his. That's the... Lord, have you heard of manifest observable behavior? Speaking of Southern specifically. She's kicked off Patreon. They invented a new acronym just to do it, based on the fact that she happened to physically be on a boat that was trying to stop a migrant caravan from entering southern Italy. Well, technically speaking, the boat could have gotten rammed and a lot of people could have drowned. That's kind of dangerous too. But I think that was brave. I supported her in what she was doing and found no problem with it. She was defamed, and she was called names, called extremist and Nazi, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, you shouldn't have done this. You should have known better. Don't put yourself in that situation. Sure, it's okay if you bought a migrant-stopping boat, and so, but why were you there? Oh my God, you should have known. All the Karens and the hand-wringing and stuff like that was launched at her. Well, now they're doing the same to Andy Ngo, and the reason why is they were afraid of her, and now they're afraid of Andy Ngo too. They're afraid of Tim Pool. They're afraid of all of us. They're afraid of being exposed, and they're really afraid of someone goddamn doing something about it. They're afraid of people saying enough is enough and pressuring the local police unions. They're afraid of people talking to the mayor. They're afraid of the police commissioner getting sacked. They're afraid of people forcing out the prosecutors that won't charge these motherfuckers. That's what they're afraid of. And the reason why that would happen is because people like Andy Ngo, who get beaten up, or who record other people being beaten up, are providing evidence of the situation to a public that otherwise all they see is CNN. All they see is MSNBC. They see mostly peaceful protest. These people are fighting fascism. These people just don't like Nazis. Drumpf is a bad person. He's a fascist. He's a Nazi. That's all they see. Well, it's not reality. The reality is these people have done tens of billions in damage. They've killed dozens of people. They're holding entire cities hostage, and the police are being held back from doing anything. The prosecutors won't prosecute. The judges won't judge. They're all in it together. They're all a bunch of cronyist morons. They're pawns. They're fascists. These are the fascists. Antifa, ideologically, is closer to fascism than anything the alt-right could ever dream up. And yet there are people who will withdraw and say, well, no, we don't report on them too close. Have someone else do it. And get sued in the process. Get somebody else harmed. Get some 19-year-old film student hurt by Antifa members. No, that's not the way to do it. Don't delegate responsibility to other people. Do it yourself. Be brave in the face of the cowardice and the avarice and the stupidity that is the far left. That's what to do. That's what I think about the whole situation. That's about all. Peace out.